Welcome to the CCLS News. In today's broadcast, we are excited to bring you a special interview with our CCLS Executive Director, Dr. Matt Hayner.
Now we go live to the CCLS Innovation Lab for the press conference, which is just getting started.
Good afternoon, everyone. We should have questions from all of you, so please just raise your hand when you have a question. Okay, Dr. Hayner will take your questions now.
Yes, Josiah?
Well, Dr. Hayner, as you know, it's the end of the semester, which also means it's the end of 2024. Before we go on Christmas break, could you give us some updates as how the year has gone at CCLS from the perspective of you as the executive director?
Yeah, I'd love to give you an update. Thanks for the question. This is the time of the school year where we're not only looking back on the things that we've done, but we're also looking forward to where God's going to take us as a school. And one of the tools I use to do that is called the strategic plan. And we've been working on this with the leadership team with input from the community, that is the parents and the students. And this plan helps us to pick our priorities and our goals to ensure that we fulfill our mission here at CCLS to transform lives through Christ-centered education. And we're really excited about it. We're just in year one of the 3-year strategic plan, and we're already 50% complete with our objectives and our goals in that plan. Yeah.
What are some of those goals?
Goals, yeah. So our goals are linked to 4 key areas, and they are the culture of the school, student academics, the financial stewardship of the school, and also school growth. That is how we can serve more kids. Yeah, Gene.
A couple months ago, we all took a survey about school culture. So was that a part about the strategic plan?
Yeah, spot on. The input that we took in the accreditation a couple years ago, if you remember that went into the first strategic plan. In this current survey that went out to parents and students, that information is going to help direct action steps as we go forward. Now, in this current or more recent survey, you might recall, it was built on our culture. So what that means is all the questions were aligned with our core values, being Christ-centered, future-directed, people-focused, and excellence-driven. And we were really excited with the output from the group. We had 166 parents filled out the survey, and over 400 students K through 8 gave us feedback as well. So we really appreciate your honest and open feedback. Yeah.
Could you tell us what you learned about school culture from that survey then?
Yeah, I'd be glad to tell you what we learned. What we saw in the feedback from the survey was that our core values are not just aspirational values, but they actually are being lived out in our school. That is, when you crunch the numbers, Ryan, and you look at the data that we collected, the parents and the students are aligned with us in believing that our core values are very important. Moreover, when we look at the numbers, we also see that our community believes that we're actively and effectively living out these values in our day-to-day walk at CCLS. Now, that didn't really surprise me or the staff, but I got to tell you, it's really reassuring for us because sometimes you have your own perspective on things, but to see the evidence and see it across so many people really is exciting to see that we have a culturally aligned school here at CCLS. Yeah. Nora.
Those results are great, Dr. Hayner. But is there anything we need to work on for the future? Like, I know you asked for feedback in a survey. I personally put down that we need a longer lunch period.
Yes, I also put that a longer lunch and recess period would be nice to have. Is that something you're going to address?
Well, I got to admit, when I was in middle school, I wanted more lunch and I wanted longer recesses too. So I can't promise we're going to extend the lunch period or the recess. But what I want you to hear is that the admin team and myself have read through every comment in this survey. And we're taking this feedback to heart and looking at action steps we can take going forward in it. Aaron.
On the topic of change this school year, is there anything else you'd like to highlight for our audience?
Yeah, if I was going to highlight one thing, it'd be the playground. And not only because it was like a $400,000 project that is bringing a lot of joy to the kids over there at the elementary campus right now, and we got rid of that mulch that was all over the place, but because it really exemplifies how this community works together. The church coming together, the parents coming together and fundraising for that wonderful gift of a playground. Even after the main playground was put into place, we had people like Mr. Mann put up the the basketball hoop for us. Mr. Deering came back and he put up the Gaga pit. So it just showed how this community works together for the good of its students. Any other questions? Yeah.
Speaking of the future, in earlier remarks, you mentioned that you weren't just looking at the past, but where the school was headed. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, you want to hear about the future? I'd be glad to talk about that. I love to vision and think about the future. Right now, the team is focused on re-enrollment and of current students, and then next month in January, we'll be focusing on admissions for new students. Just came out of a meeting this afternoon. Our early childhood program has a great retention. That means a lot of the students are coming back. It's almost full already, so that's super exciting. Other things we're looking at doing, I'm working with a group of parents to build a STEAM learning center outside on the new playground at the elementary student campus, and that involves some grant writing and such. Moreover, we're looking at the academy. I mentioned the micro school. We're thinking about a 3-year plan there and what we can do to extend that to serve more kids and more grade levels. And then from an event level or an event aspect, February next year, we'll have our annual gala, which is our gathering where our parents come together and supporters and celebrate life together here at CCLS, but also fuel our scholarship fund and our mission advancement fund so that we can do all these neat projects that we're talking about in the future.
Okay, time for one final question.
Yes, Will.
Any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with today, Dr. Hayner?
I've got a lot of thoughts, but I got to tell you this. You all know our theme this year is joyful in Jesus' love. Well, you, CCLS News, have brought me a great amount of joy this past year, and I want you to continue on doing that. You're doing a great job. Keep up the great work, okay? And have a great day in the Lord.
That concludes today's special broadcast of the CCLS News. It was nice to hear those updates from Dr. Hayner, wasn't it, Elias?
Yes, it was. But as we wrap up today's broadcast, I think it would be fun to hear not just from Dr. Hayner, but straight from our students too, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. We'll leave you today with some answers we got from the students when we asked, what is something you really like about CCLS? Have a great day!
The new